Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Attended the workshops. Okay, so last night when I was just going through the learnings of the workshops that we had here, 20 years fostering collaboration in the Indian and now also in the international startup ecosystem. And I thought in the tortoise, all of you must have heard. Okay, so we already wins the race, and we all think that the story ends there. Hare is very frustrated. What I have done, I've lost a race with a I do to win this race. I cannot have this title of losing the race. Next day, the hare goes to tortoise and tells, win the race. Both of them have a race. The hare wins the race. Now tortoise is frustrated. Slow as is, he chooses a track where there's a river in between. Dubuk gets into the water, comes out from the other side and wins the race. Next day, new racetrack where there is a land, the hare takes the tortoise on his back and runs and rarely win the race. Ladies and gentlemen, if we collaborate like hare and tortoise, I'm sure that if you're a hare, nothing in this world will stop you from winning the race ever again.
Sagar, after listening to this lovely, beautiful collaboration story, मुझे एक शायरी खूबसूरत से एक पल का किस्सा बन जाता है. खूबसूरत से एक पल का जिंदगी का हिस्सा बन जाता है. कुछ खास लोग मिलते हैं जिंदगी में, कुछ खास लोग मिलते हैं ISBACON में, छड़ने वाला एक रिश्ता बन जाता है.
क्या बात है, क्या बात है.
आभार, अभिनंदन, बहुत बहुत प्यार. और इस कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत से पहले आप सभी के लिए, आपके अपनों के लिए एक बार जोरदार तालियां बजाइए.
Esteemed dignitaries, visionaries of innovation from all across the country, and my
Gladys Nair from iCreate Ahmedabad and also a proud governing body of ISBA.
And we both of them.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to have investors, government representatives, and each and everyone who is here. It's an electrifying journey that has taken a lot of hard work and the ISBACON has reached the 16 years, and 16 years ago at the same place, 16 years after, we are meeting all once again at the same place. So it's really a proud moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a huge round of applause for the city, the cyber city of South India, Hyderabad. Dr. Vinay Nandiguri, Director CCMB, to please come on.
I also request the special guest of ISBACON, Dr. Srinivas.
I would like to request Dr. Ulhas Koltu, Director CDF. I would like to request Dr. Antoshi Reddy, Vice President, Finance, Legal and Compliance at T-Hub, to please come on the dais.
Now I would request Dr. Madhusudana Rao, CEO, AIC CCMB.
I'm Madhusudan Rao, CEO of Atal Incubation Center, and it's my personal pleasure and honor to stand before you and be the organizer of this conference with hosting you. And we had the last ISBACON in 2000 Hyderabad yesterday when you visited T-Hub. So as our organization, we were in existence with the support of. And since then, we have been an active incubator in life sciences in Hyderabad, one of the as we go on. And this particular ISBA India's vision in promoting startups and entrepreneurial ecosystem, I think ISBA has a very important role to play. As previously the host was telling us about, even incubators are startups in a way. And with so many incubators in the country today, to have a network like ISBA and look at, because each incubator has its own game, trying to promote the startups and then trying to get money. All incubators are not equally efficient at doing it. So an organization, an association like this will be extremely useful for people to exchange notes, exchange the experience. Have these kind of associations meet more often, or maybe good do a lot of satellite events, so that important. And CCMB and AAC CCMB is very fortunate to have you time in next couple of days, and take good memories back home, and also create memories.
Thank you so very much, sir, for such an inspiring speech. And now I would like to request
Director IICTE, Dr. Vinay, Director CCMB, Mr. Praveen Rai, our distinguished leaders of our innovation ecosystem, Mr. H.K. Mittal, former advisor and head of NSTDB, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, Mr. Ramanan Ramanathan, the founder, Dr. A.S. Rao was the head Technopreneur Promotion Program of Department of Scientific and the past president of ISBA, Ms. Deepanvita, the past president of ISBA, and for us to have you all in this opening ceremony of ISBA. A special occasion today. A special welcome to Professor Lee, President of the Asian Association of Business Incubators. From different Asian countries have been participating in this conference. Speakers have accepted our invitation and traveled to Hyderabad to share their experience with us. Exactly 20 years before, the visionary leaders and thought leaders of our incubation technology to have the Science and Technology Entrepreneurs Park, and having a for the host institution as well as the incubation centers, which is having to have a separate society or a separate organization. 5 years before, when the incubator, the population itself only about 70 or 50, and are deliberating what is incubation for my incubation center, what is the incubation model for my incubation center. To that extent, we have been collaborating with the government agencies to come out with the schemes and programs. And the policymakers are kind enough to consider us as their family members, not considering us as an association where we'll be negotiating with them. Thanks for co-incubation, things like that. Every 2-3 years, we have seen that some kind of changes has been happened in this movement. COVID also gave us an option about 4-5 models. We started talking about physical incubation, virtual incubation, co-incubation, hybrid. The members of the association have played a major role in achieving all these things. And today, we have about 135, 130. These 130, 140 incubators representing today, the statistics says that these 150 incubators are from 22 states across the country. In this hall are representing 22 states across this country from 75 cities and towns, Tier 1. Incubation managers, each incubation center, if you take that, they're supporting 20 startups on an average, right? 3,000 startups, right? Each incubation center, right? At least the startups have the challenges of first 5 years. After that, they'll have a go, no go. Either they'll grow or they will wind off and they'll move forward. But as an incubation center CEOs, always opportunity for us to get some solutions or some strategies to address our challenges. With these expectations, these incubation center managers, decades, right? The collaborative effort, and as I mentioned, the support from the government, as well as for the incubators from the erstwhile service tax and also from the GST in the current GST. The provision for the societies to invest in startups as equity is also the another achievement that this collective initiatives which have been supporting these initiatives. As an incubation center, as I mentioned, the strength grow, the expectation of the members also gets growing. And we also coming up with a lot of strategies. Right. In 2007 to Amaljodi, to Dapoli, to Mysore, to Mandi, we went to places travel, but we made our incubation centers to meet there. Yeah, and with more participation. But way forward, right, we are planning to have a special program called CEO Conclave. Right, and that will start from January 2025 onwards. Secondly, we have launched the knowledge vertical. After 25 years of journey, repeatedly, where we'll come out with concept papers, white papers with the people who have put their expertise, and thanks to the brain drain that's going to happen in the incubation industry as an association. And the third, 3 years before we launched the clusters, about 7-8 clusters have been identified across the country. We grouped the states. From this year onwards, we will be expanding our experience with clusters to the other clusters. That's the third initiative that we are planning. And the fourth, the corporate engagement forward that we have for ISBA. And once again, on behalf of all the members of ISBA, I thank all the and I welcome you all and have a wonderful deliberation for next 2 days. Thank you.
Insightful welcome speech. I must say that ISBA's journey reminds us of the stress system in coming years. Ladies and gentlemen, now and compliance at T-Hub. To speak a few words on this occasion and grace the audience.
That everybody who were at T-Hub yesterday have enjoyed their visit to T-Hub and the evolution, right? Then the technology was the second phase of evolution. Now the AI and Gen AI that is going to disrupt, it is not just limited to the technology, it is also goes to the manufacturing and power that we used mostly, it was the physical capabilities that we used. Right, in the second phase, technology focuses on the best things the mankind can do and leave the rest of the things to us. That is the communication AI to look the same next after 10 years. Our kids will not be the same next 10 years. Right? In engineering, we'll spend 3 to 4 years in learning coding. After that, also we'll spend a lot of time in learning coding. But city for the coding. So what is the role of incubators in this? So this looks very funny, but this Lakshmi's session, she has put the role of incubators, stakeholders of incubators in one slide very beautifully, right? One of the stakeholder is the nation. We are the nation builders. We are contributing the smallest bit that we can do for the country, and that is making this disruption possible. And we are playing a key role in this playing is how we can leverage each other's benefits. Each of the stakeholder is bringing on members. Thanks for the ISBA team for bringing this meeting in here to see how better we can collaborate with each other and support each other. Hyderabad today. So in the same lines, we are entering into an MOU with ISBA. So before you are in front of all the incubators, I request all the incubators to...
Suresh Kumar, President of ISBA, to kindly felicitate Ms. C.A. Santoshi Reddy. Okay. And grace the audience. Over to you, sir. Have a huge round of applause.
Dignitaries. In fact, I started my journey at IKP Knowledge Park in the mentorship of Dipanvita ma'am. And I always wondered, coming from academy, mentorship from Dipanvita ma'am and ISBA that it's education in my mind, and so far I have been in this journey, and it has been a rewarding journey. Is a very deep phenomena or a very deep mechanism or very deep institution. Countries who have grown or they have led or they have become, talk about US, in 1900s, early inefficient governance, corrupt government, it was still in the. However, some of the innovators there changed the history of that country. Like, for example, bulky, they were inefficient, they were not accessible to the people. What he did was to make it accessible to people, make it afford the children. People demanded more. So it was a democratization of the innovation that we see when people become by creating local and global jobs, but also it demanded good institutions to be built in the country. Imagine that why people cannot capture the moments of their life in the camera, why they have to go to a studio. And he developed the camera in the kitchen of his mom, and you know, that's great impact on the economy. How did it do it? You know, so huge impact on the prosperity of the nation. Talk about Japan. It was destroyed in Second World War. Again, within 20 years, 1970s, we see electronics industry booming there. Because of the whole electronics industry grew, and it had a huge impact not only in the nation, but across the globe. Then we talk about South Korea. I mean, a lot of innovation that led that country from 1970s to a middle income group. For example, India. We are good in supplying 40% of medicines to US alone and vaccine of the world, etc. However, these are volumes. When we talk about value, it is not that great. I mean, we rank 14th in the. These are great things to do. This is also required for economy. But if you have to break them of any nation, if we can identify such innovations in society with the policy, Bio-E3 policy, which says that, you know, it talks about the circular economy, it talks about the bioeconomy, so it's an overarch, whatever affects human being, actually it's covered under that light. What are these biomanufacturing hubs and biofoundries? Actually, we have so far the country, now we have incubation centers, at least BIRAC supported 120, and I know that NSTDB also has supported so many, ISBA, now we need manufacture GMP facilities, etc. We have giving the funds or supporting mechanisms to create these biofoundries. The scale has created some kind of structure where these biofoundries, etc., can be at least thought. They have a lot of they have a lot of components which work together and create this to actually see how these startups and the intellectual property lying on shelf can build one over the other. So superstructures of incubation through bio chain for the startups from ideation to the commercialization community is very well knit. It's like a family members, and they all, and that's what we need. And I think with the passage of time, many BIRAC, and I remember that when BIRAC was trying to create incubation centers, Dale, Dr. Rao, and Dr. Mittal were there, and they. So I'll close here, and thank you and best wishes for this conference.
Nadu and the Vice President ISBA to kindly felicitate Dr. Jitendra Kumar, Managing Director, BIRAC. Can we have a big round of... I also request Bala sir to please felicitate CA.
Mittal, Dr. Rao and Dr. Ramanan, Dr. Jagdale, dignitary of the dais, side. Maybe it will be going beyond the scale of the meter. So this is what is contributed by ISBACON. This is what the debaters to the ISBA, just to see like what are the gaps where we can pitch in, what programs are to be roped in. And that time also the constructive support, the great power to you to raise your voice, to tell like what is to be done by the government and what is missing in and around 9 Center of Excellence. DST has been also pioneering, conceiving many new programs like Seed Fund, which was not earlier. This was the country and the technology domains. We keep on partnering in different forums, and as of now, 4G was rolled out. The country was just trying to follow the standards and implementation of 4G. When 5G was launched, things are very in a right direction and a right moment for all the startup incubation, incubator community missions like the National Quantum Mission, National Interdisciplinary Cyber Physical System Mission, and ISBA has been playing important role in making the policies for the state federal government. And I hope like this kind of conferences and networking platform will give a lot.
Thank you so very much, sir, for sharing the insight and talking about the policies and how government. Mr. Prasad Menon from SIBA and Vice President ISBA to kindly felicitate Shri Praveen Roy, Head. तालियों से उत्साह बना रहता है और एनर्जी छाई रहती है ऑडियंस. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning to everyone. Learning experience, and we also thank stalwarts in this room, including Dr. J6, which puts us in a very unique place of combining technology innovators in the larger ecosystem. But having been one of the newest entrants to this particular thing, in this context, Hyderabad is very unique, of course, because we have wonderful research institutions and winning. It's also about making sure that each of us don't do the same mistakes that the others did. So there's a huge learning experience for us, and ISBA for all the support and help in getting this off. And as I think probably Dr. Jitendra said, innovation is supported. Even in a startup, there are many opportunities for developing point-of-care devices, point-of-care methods, biology. So I request some of you who are not directly associated with biology or biologists, the organizers for giving us the opportunity. And I'll emphasize that all the academic institutions in Hyderabad are very keen to make sure I have a major role to play. And thank you, everyone. And I hope you will enjoy the next 2 days. Yeah.
Member of ISBA to kindly felicitate Dr. Ulhas Koltur, Director CDFD. On this wonderful occasion, we are also going to officially release the Guess India 2020. While Mr. Poonan is coming, there's a small video about it. I would request the team to kindly. Ladies and gentlemen, the time is here where we officially launch the Guess India 2020. Gathering of incubators, accelerators and stakeholders in the Indian entrepreneurial ecosystem, ISBACON 2024 is this report will offer a roadmap.
Thank you very much. We are now excited to announce the signing of several important MOUs today, marking a significant step. I would request Vijay. Thank you so much. I now request from the federal and exchanging the MOU. we have Ms. Astha Dikshit, Accounts Manager, AWS.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate a significant milestone, the 20th anniversary of ISBA, we reflect on the 2 decades of innovation, collaboration. This year, we proudly present ISBA at 20, a comprehensive compiler of the journey
थैंक यू सो मच. तालियां में कुछ कमी नजर आ रही है. We would love to hear you, sir. Thank you. So this is an exchange. Yeah. Okay.
You people just saw we signed an MOU. I represent FTCCI, Federation of Telangana Chamber of Commerce and Industry, as Senior Vice President, where we have about 3,200 industry and trade members. And we play a very key role along with the government. At the state it was called FAPSI. Today it is called FTCCI. And apart from this, play a major role along with the government in helping the government formulating so many policies and then helping in all these places. FTCCI played a major role in formulating that policy. And we are also playing a role on where we look at startups now, which become SME or MSME very soon. Otherwise, the dream, somebody was just sharing, one of the speakers was sharing, he was talking about we should also work collectively so that we help the startups to grow. So in that context, we have come here and help each other in helping the country to grow. Thank you.
जिंदगी की असली उड़ान अभी बाकी है, जिंदगी के कई इम्तिहान अभी बाकी है, अभी तो नापी है मुट्ठी भर जमीन. लवली ऑडियंस, एक बार आपके लिए जोरदार तालियां. थैंक यू. In recognition, in shaping the future of entrepreneurship in our region. Join us as we celebrate our possibilities. First, I would like to invite Dr. A.S. Rao, President Director CCMB, to kindly felicitate Dr. Rao for this amazing accomplishment. Thus, who has been always the guiding spirit. Thank you. Now, I would request our Director IICT to kindly felicitate Ms. Bhattacharya for this amazing accomplishment. ISBA is also honored to recognize the contribution of Dr. Pooja showed this side. Thank you. Words on this occasion and grace the audience.
So first of all, thank you, ISBA, for making me part of this, to host this annual conference in our campus. And I'm also happy to know about ISBA's innovations. So vital for our country's growth. Again, as a previous speaker said, this is very, very, of course, there are several sectors, including education, agri-tech, and health tech, and everywhere. Startups, can you imagine our life today, particularly younger generation? We can't even imagine. So I think that's a huge impact we are making as a startups, of course, particularly incubations because of you, like Startup India, Digital India, Make in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, really making impact in our country and also to the world. And actually one of the successful one in science and technology and one of the early ones. So I know more about very, very interesting place. It's a very happening place, a beautiful ecosystem we have in our country and with the reputed corridor. So starting from ICMR's NIN, this CSIR's now IICT, CCMB, NGRI, we have DST's corridor. Soon it's going to become Science City as well. So I'm sure it's going to be a great attraction for us. So when you complete the Science City in the future, we are sitting here. So we are one of the largest organization in our, so in Hyderabad we have 3 labs as IICT, CCMB and NGRI. And sector, there are broad areas we work. So in fact, good number of startups originated from our technology. I'm not sure how much time you have to visit our place. I request you all to visit. Here, she is heading our BDRM department. So please connect us, and whenever you get a chance to visit Hyderabad, please do visit us. So, Hyderabad is also well known for biryani and pearls. I'm sure our institute. So, one video is there, right? Just 1 minute video.
Going to definitely love the pearls. And I would now request Aurangabad and GB member ISBA to kindly felicitate our special guest, Dr. D. Srinivas Reddy, Director IICT. So, bajao tali. Thank you. ISBA is also honored to recognize the contribution of Dr. M. Preeti, hard work and efforts that she has put into this ecosystem. So can we have a big, big round of applause here with us, and we are sending her all the best wishes from our end.
Round of applause. Over to you, sir.
I have not much left to say because almost everything is covered. Pretty much aware that I'm kind of standing between you and the tea. And it's almost, CCMB is an institute that kind of came out of ISCT, and that was almost 47 years ago, and 37 years ago we had developed, which also had good connections with industry. And in fact, it again came out of CCMB, like we came out of ISCT. So it's kind of granddaughter for ISCT. But with strong basic research, strong chemistry research that we have in ISCT, and then you have CDFT, Survey of India, Osmania University. This is literally one of the center which started around 7 years ago and doing very well. And Dr. Madhu talked about it. He's the CEO of that. Kind of encourage entrepreneurship and incubations of all the institutes in this corridor want to work together with the Government of Telangana. So, if you were to go back, I came back to India in 2004, the year ISBA was. When I came, there were some institutes, ISERs were non-existent. Quite a lot of IITs did not have biology in departments. And we kind of like, what is this incubation thing and all? We were all scientists doing our own thing in labs. of incubation ecosystem, startup ecosystem in biology incubation centers. Eventually, now if you look around, and then you have Atal Incubation Centers supported by MeitY Ayog, all these things, as a student, I realized that I really don't want to do classical path of postdoc and want to test out something. There's a place, there's an opportunity, and also there is a way, very clearly defined way. It doesn't look that bad. Our guiding lights for those young people who are looking to figure out how to swim through this entrepreneurial at the scale what we should be. I believe it is going to change, and it's going to change in an exponential way. We are starting, and we as academic leaders and you people as the whole of where India is going to be and where India should be. And specifically, if we want to realize our vision of being a Viksit Bharat in 2047, CCMB is kind of hand-holding, a little bit of helping here and there in organizing to all of you for the conference. And I really would like you to explore how.
Thank you so much, sir, from I Create Gujarat and GB member of ISBA to kindly felicitate our special guest, Dr. Vin. Ladies. The stage for vote of thanks. Over to you, Ramji.
And thank you all the dignitaries who came here. It's my immense pleasure to give vote of thanks to all the delegates and the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and special for supporting this complete ISBACON to be happy. Requested him that we want to do it here, and he said yes. Our leadership like this. Thank you, sir, for being here. Always being part of such activities which promote academic innovation and also of collaboration between academia and industries. And I also thank Praveen Roy, who came here, and Dr. Insights on how we can actually accelerate such kind of the speed that you have for the CDFD incubator, of how we can collaborate together to have such kind of domain-specific incubation ecosystems in the country. Something more than AI as well that may be coming in the future that you addressed to the gathering, and how T-Hub supported you all witnessed. Yes, ISBA President Dr. Suresh, who made this complete engagement, Hyderabad, positioning in your different hotels and also making these agendas and everything. But yes, he briefed all of you about. We have special, eminent delegates, Dr. HK, honor to our country, sir, because Indonesia is brilliant, and thank you very much for being here, sir. Yes, last but not the least, I have to mention about other Intutech, right? Intutech. Sorry, I may not be telling on the scripted vote of thanks. So AWS, ICICI Bank, Oban, we have greatest support from IICT, great support, Srinivas sir. So wonderful gathering. Thank you very much.
He has been running around for last couple of months to get things on stage, and he has been listening to all of us. And I request all our dignitaries on dais to please proceed to the press room